Hi, Carrie. How are you doing? Okay, so here's what we have. I want to take a look at your corporate identity piece, and I want to talk a little bit about where we're going and what's going on here. Um, I recall back from week one, assignment three, you had a different. I recall a logo with a flag, and there was a couple pieces. I think one was a newspaper ad, and I remember talking about not having a complete corporate identity. So apparently, I'm going to guess you went ahead and created one, which is really awesome. I'm so glad you took the incentive. You're not the only student that did that, and I'm just so pleased that you guys are filling out your portfolio requirements as needed, and that's part of it, of logo. If you don't have the piece, so I'm okay with that. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, in your logo sheet here, you've got these um, labeled as sketches, but these are roughs. Okay, these aren't sketches. Sketches are with pen on paper. So if you have those, show them. That would be great. That would give them, the more you have to show where you started with a blank piece of paper and how you ended up here, the better. So these are great. But if you have more, that's even better. Okay, so let's take a look at the final, which is based off this right here. And I just want to zoom in here a little bit because I'm not quite understanding this right here, these scribbles. And also, I think that it looks like this could have been handled a little bit more delicately. That open T right there is going to be a problem. That open D right there, that's going to be a problem. And this is just not, the kerning right there is really, really wide open. That's just such a huge space between. So is that. So so that goes into the final, which we're going to look at right here. And these things right here that you've transposed to color here, I don't know if purple is the right color because you can't see it. If you go back to where we were, you can kind of see that there's some kind of obstruction on the green line, but it's not until you really zoom in till you see that it is those scribbles. Okay, so it looks to me, honestly, like this was you used a mouse to do. I don't know if you used a mouse or it's really so difficult to write with a mouse, or if you used a pad. Um, my suggestion, honestly, is to do it over. It's too um, random. It's for a logo. It's just too random. And then you've added these gradients in here, and they're going to cause a problem with production as well. They're just not going to pick up on small sizes, and it's going to be very difficult to present this in black and white at small sizes with those little gradients. Okay, so then you have the color version, and I think it would have been just as easy to select a script typeface and to type on a path. And I really love the hand developed look. I do. I love it. I'm a big fan of that. I just don't think that this is showing complete control. Okay, so from there on, I wanted to tell you that from there on, it looks like I don't know if you want to redo some of these pieces. I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing as far as portfolio. I'm not going to talk about design anymore. I'm just going to talk about portfolio. Okay, so this is a mailer, right? But what is it? What's it telling me? What is it? Is there a backside that has information? Um, well, I get this in the mail and I see, okay, this is addressed to me, but what is it? What's Lavender Cottage? It doesn't say anywhere what it is. And the same thing here on the business card. And the idea with the business card, you have the logo, which is great. That's going to serve some memory, but the whole idea with the business card is that you hand it, when you hand it to a person, it's like a mini ad. So if I find this in my wallet 2 months later, I'm going to be asking myself, what the heck is Lavender Cottages? It doesn't say anywhere. Do you see what I'm saying? So these pieces are are somewhat incomplete. You should always have a contact name on the business card. I also suggest using lining numerals, and I personally think this typeface here is this right here is too. It's really difficult to read because the kerning is so tight, and it's a decorative typeface, so it's super difficult to read. All right, business card and mailer. So and plus it looks like this when you reduced this. When I was talking about before about the letters, is take a look at what happened when you reduced it. It looks like now your letters are starting to touch each other. The G closed. See that D, that closed? That's what I was talking about, and that's going to be a problem. But the problem here isn't because of the fact that you reduced the size. The problem is because you reduced the size, but you didn't constrain the proportion. So in other words, take a look at this S right here, the curvature of this S, and take a look at this S. So when you sized that, you didn't constrain the proportions or the strokes. So when you resize in Illustrator, you can constrain those stroke styles, etc. And that will be in your scale box. Okay. Then let's go to these pieces. And listen, I just want to tell you, I don't suggest putting these in a portfolio. Because all you've done here is you've placed the logo on different things. I mean, this is a box, but it's not showing me anything. I mean, all it's showing me is that you've placed the logo on a die cut, and likewise here. So it's just not showing me anything at all. Likewise here, it's a gift card, and then I mean, so you're just showing logo placement here. Okay, this isn't really a cohesive, solid identity system, because look, you've got black background here, you've got pink background here, you got white background here, you've introduced this pink star over here. I mean, there's just things that are being introduced at one piece after the next that aren't used before. Okay, this as a brochure, you have to design it. Okay, and then here's another logo with a different background. You have to design this thing. I mean, you can't just place a logo on a gradient background and put some fold lines and call it a brochure. Do you see what I'm saying? For your portfolio, you want a well-developed professional piece, and you have to ask yourself: is this it, or is this a well-developed piece? Are you showing me well-developed professional conceptual development and planning and execution? Okay, this piece here is the letterhead. Okay, and then the envelope. And these are fine, but you need your business card to be part of this. The business card you showed before had a black background, so that's of course not going to go very well with this stationary set right here. Okay, so as far as this is an easy fix, really super easy fix. I mean, I'm glad, like I said, I'm really super impressed that you went and created this for the portfolio. You should absolutely have corporate identity piece in your portfolio. So I'm glad that you did that. Even after this class is over, you need corporate identity. So just keep in mind that you want this thing to be as highly polished as possible. If you have any questions or you'd like to talk about this further, or if you have any questions or need any comments or suggestions, just feel free to contact me. You can email me or get with me in the discussion board. But those are my observations, and thanks very much, Carrie. Thanks very much.